All right, everybody, it is 11:05, and I'm going to formally begin this training. My name is Ron Morgan. I'm the political organizing coordinator for the Democratic Party of Oregon, and I am the staff lead on our local elections project. Welcome. Great to see everybody here on a sunny day when you could be out campaigning if you're a candidate. We appreciate you taking the time to join us today. Jonathan, I'm trying to advance the slide. There we go. Whoops. That's too much. There we go. Let's start out right. I just want to mark that today is the 1-year anniversary for us at the DPO working from home. And I know it's been, come on, what's going on here?
They're back.
There we go. Yeah, we've already got the gremlins in attendance. Thank you guys for showing up. It's the 1-year anniversary from all of us at the DPO staff from working from home, and it's been a year. It's been a year for everyone. And I just want to remind you all that even with the vaccine and the light at the end of the tunnel, that COVID-19 social distancing protocols are still in effect, directly impacting our lives and how we interact with each other. Our trainings today are intended to help you win your race while observing the latest COVID-19 social distancing recommendations. And what that means is, under normal circumstances, in the before time, we would be emphasizing direct voter contact face-to-face because it's the gold standard of political communication, a neighbor talking to a neighbor. But we're still not at that place, not completely. And if we are, it's with 6 feet of distance between ourselves and anyone we're speaking to. It's with masks. It's being aware that people are social distancing. You may feel comfortable going out and talking with people, but they may not be comfortable with you rolling up to their door right now. So 1 year ago today, we were planning this very same training as an in-person training, and we had to shift gears and make it an online training. We've learned a lot since that first training that we gave under COVID-19 about what works and what doesn't work. We've designed more time in today's presentation than we might in our normal presentations for questions. And because of the number of attendees for today's webinar, we want to ask you to remain muted and feel free to place your questions in the chat box whenever they hit, right? We do have specific places in the trainings at the end of each module that are marked for questions, but don't be shy. Feel free to ask your question in the chat box, and I'm going to be monitoring the chat box throughout and answering questions as they come up. If your question is very specific to your campaign or your community and very detailed, I may ask you to take the question offline, and I promise you that I will respond to it. And I'm going to put my email in the chat box right now. It's easy. It's my first name, Ron, at dpo.org. So if you have questions that can't be answered in the training format, feel free to reach out to me. And actually, if you have a question about messaging, you can contact Tim, who will be giving the training module on messaging and communications. Or about fundraising, reach out to Katie Drum, who will be presenting about fundraising. But if you can't remember that, just remember Ron at dpo.org. And if I don't have the answer to your question, I can get it to the person who does. Now, with that, I'm going to hand over the meeting to the chair of the DPO, Casey Hansen.
Hey, thanks, Ron. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you do. So I'm going to see if I can click the slide and whoa, I can do it. All right. Hey, everybody. I want to thank you for running for office. Obviously, what you're doing is really important. and these local elections, these local board race, special boards are very important as well. And obviously you're doing it to improve your community. And as you do that, you'll be representing democratic values and, and making lives better for your communities. Just a little background. Oh, now it's not clicking forward, Jonathan. Can you help me on that? Okay, that's doing strange things. Jonathan, can you move me forward on that slide?
Yeah, Casey, if you click anywhere on the screen, you'll take control. There you go.
Yeah, it's not moving.
Press the right arrow.
Not moving.
Just click the mouse on the screen. There you go. Perfect.
All right, it's a little slow on the uptake there. All righty, sorry about that. Well, anytime it's involving me and technology, there's always going to be a glitch. Ugh. So, wanted to give you a brief overview of the elections, a local elections project. It's a training program that is helping county parties and Democratic win races at this local level. In other words, usually the nonpartisan races that are below, quote unquote, below, and I don't like to use the term below, but not the state representative or partisan level. And just a little rehash of the numbers. Project was developed back in 2013. The DPO has trained more than 530 Democratic leaders in 26 of our 36 counties. We've supported 448 campaigns and helped elect 336 Democrats to these local offices. And many of these folks were in their first races, which is pretty cool. And it switched for me again. All right, these are your folks. I am the yapper on the upper left. That's me, Casey Hansen, a better picture of me than I look now. The middle guy, that's Brad Martin, our executive director. He's got a wealth of history and political experience. I like to emphasize his time in Montana because that's where a lot of the hard work was done. You ever wonder why Montana, of all places, has Democratic senators? It's because that guy was working there. Ron Morgan, of course, you've just heard from. He's the lead dog on these local elections trainings and projects and what have you. He is everything. I don't think he sleeps. Katie Drum, young and fantastic at what she does. She's our development director. She can aid you in all different ways of making the almighty fundraising that you'll need for your campaign. And she's really, really accessible and very, very on top of it. Tim McCann, digital director, or as I like to call, Tech Dude. I tell you what, any technical problem and the issue and communication stuff as well, Tim's your guy to talk to at the DPO. And of course, Jonathan Rudolph, who is actually Tech Dude 1, is the master of the van. And so he can absolutely help you through that. There's algorithms and all kinds of great mathematical stuff that can help you specify who you want to reach out to on your campaign. So before we move on to the next thing, and that's kind of Rod's slide, I wanted to give you a final thought. This seminar is meant to cover very core basics. And I do notice that we have some experienced campaigners. In fact, we have the former chair of the Multnomah County Board of Commissioners, Bev Stein on. Hey, Bev, give us a hand wave there. She's now doing great work out in Tillamook County, but she just can't get out of political. So thank you for being here, Bev. And Kim Smith, I know, is also on the one screen I see. Sorry, I can't see all of you. But Kim ran for county commission in Jefferson County in the most recent election. She didn't get over the top, but she ran one heck of a race.
I won the primary. I beat the primary,
yes,
42 to 32 against an incumbent Republican. And then guess what? Yeah, I couldn't beat him in the age of Trump, as I say at the general.
Yeah.
So in my case, with the primary, if you have more than two candidates, if you don't get over 50%, everyone gets bumped to the general, in case you aren't aware of that.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get into some of that too. The team may get into some of that too later. But for for those you folks with core experience, whatever sharing you can do would be most appreciated. This is a basic, candidate slam bang fire hose 101. And I know a lot of you are new candidates too. The concepts and strategies and tactical options you can use or should use to get successfully elected will be presented here. And some of the things are going to be really hard for you to do, and some of the things you'll like a lot better. But when you're doing the hard stuff, like maybe asking for that donation, maybe knocking on the door isn't really your thing. And well, we're not going to be knocking on doors for this cycle, but maybe you have a rough time with phone calls. I want you to remember one thing. You're running for office. That means you're already got something special in your DNA because you're passionate and you care about your community, and that's why you're doing this. So I want you to always keep that in mind, because remember, when you're asking for that donation or you're asking for that vote, you're not asking for yourself. You're asking for them. You're asking for your shared community. So on behalf of our Oregon community, and certainly our Oregon community of Democrats, I want to thank you as well. And so go forth, get elected, and I turn it back over to Ron. Thank you, everybody.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to just go over briefly our agenda today. I sent it out to you in a packet of handouts. We are going to cover basically from soup to nuts. We're going to cover strategy and simple campaign plans, your message to voters, voter contact, how to get your message out, fundraising. I'm going to speak about allies and endorsements and diversity in your campaign, how to build your team, and election protection, last and not certainly least. And okay, so we're going to do a little exercise now, which is a challenge with so many of us here. We're going to do introductions of ourselves.
Hey, Ron.
Yes.
So I just had a text from someone worried about how we're going to do 47 introductions in 7 minutes.
Well,
The suggestion was that we might do it in the chat box, that everyone just enters the answers to your questions.
that would be great. That would save us a lot of time. In person, it's different. You can actually see and look eyeball to eyeball. On a Zoom call, it's harder to choose out people and make sure that everyone is able to participate. I know this is a challenge for some of you who have phoned in. And at the end of this, I may call on you, specifically if you're a candidate. So in the chat box, please let us know who you are, where you're from, and a county will do, or a town, what you're running for, or who you're helping if you are a volunteer. And lastly, what you hope to learn today. So go ahead and do that. We'll give a couple of minutes for folks to do that. And Jean Marmon, Jackie Spross, that's great. Kimmy Schmidt from Jefferson County. Jackie's from the Hillsborough School District. Sonia Kazin from Tillamook wants to help. Kevin McPherson from Multnomah School, running for school board. Michael Smith, not running for office, wants to help folks. And he's actually been a help already to many candidates. Susan Wahiki, Dean Salazar, Nima Gupta. That's great. That's great. Thank you, everyone, who's participating in this. Whoops. Hello.
I see Brett, Tom, Travis, Amber.
Yep.
A whole lot of people getting your stuff in here. That's great.
That's
Dorothy,
peaceful.
Aaron, Peter Marks.
Yep.
Vicky.
Vicki Bradley from Curry County. Mary Whitmore from Forest Grove in Washington County. I was wondering who Moto G Power was. Nancy Felipe Russo, Benton County. And it's great. There's so many people from our county parties on here who are not candidates, but who want to help candidates. This is a training not only for folks who are filed and ready to run, already running, but for folks who are thinking about running or folks who want to be good helpers.
I see Nancy, Constance, there's Jaden and Chris, Lee, Brian. So I know this breaks Ron's heart and mind. We love the introductions, but they clock out about 30 seconds apiece, and we had a great turnout, almost doubled in 2 days. Christian, by the way, sorry about that.
Joe Yetter,
Glenn,
Joe's from Douglas County, if I recall. Brian Wolcott from Beaverton, looking to run next year. And Carol Greeno from Washington County. Glenn Rawls, first-time candidate. Where are you from, Glenn? You want to put that in the chat box? Lincoln County, all right, on the coast, love it. Well, I think we could actually move forward while people are introducing themselves in the chat. I'm going to hand over this next slide to our executive director, Brad Martin. Brad, you want to